Celtic are back in action this weekend as we have Scottish Cup football. However, despite this, we have a lot of news to go over away from that game, which includes the embarrassing thing Joey Barton just said about the club. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Rio Hatate is aiming to make his mark at Hampden this Sunday as Celtic face St Johnstone for a place in the Scottish Cup final. The Japanese midfielder, who was part of the side that fell to the Perth men in the league earlier this month, is using that defeat as fuel for a response when the sides meet again, this time with a place in the final at stake. This is what he had to say on Celtic TV. "I want to win the Scottish Cup. We played against St Johnstone and we lost against them in the last game in the league. I have to put in hard work in the next game and do my best for the team. I have never scored a goal at Hampden Park. I want to try and score a goal in the next game. It is important to win the next game. I have good memories at Hampden Park," Hatate concluded. He admitted he has personal motivation too. He was on target when Kilmarnock came to town last weekend. He netted a brace, with his first goal a great hit from outside of the box. There's no doubting the Japanese star's quality. When he turns up, he's the best midfielder in Scotland, but he could be heading for the exit door this summer if reports are to be believed. Brendan Rodgers is looking to refresh the team, and Rio Hatate has been at the club for some time now. His exit would make sense. Celtic's midfield talisman has been central to their domestic push and will be key again this weekend as Brendan Rodgers' side look to avenge their recent league loss and keep hopes of another treble alive. Now for the main story, Joey Barton is at it again. This time, the disgraced former midfielder, convicted of assaulting his wife and trying desperately to rally a right-wing fan base, has taken aim at Scott Brown. Why? Because Barton still hasn't shaken the memory of being outclassed, outfought and frankly humiliated during his short-lived Scottish football experiment. In a social media spat, Barton tried to belittle Brown's career, claiming, "Scoot Brown never came to England, the big league, stayed in the footballing backwater. He gets zero respect." Let's be honest here. Barton arrived in Glasgow with all the bravado of a pantomime villain, claiming he was the best player in Scotland before a ball had even been kicked. Then reality hit. Brown tore him to shreds on Derby Day, Celtic thumped Rangers 5-1, and Barton was never the same again. Weeks later he was off, chased out of Scottish football before he ever found his footing. Before the derby, when the chance came to shake Scott Brown's hand, he couldn't even look him in the eye, looking at the ground as he passed him. Brown might not have played in the Premier League, but he spent over a decade dominating Scottish football, captaining Celtic to title after title. Barton, a footnote in the rivalry. A man who talked the talk but wilted when it mattered most. Sometimes silence is golden. Barton should give it a go. In other news, Stilian Petrov has thrown his support behind Celtic's record signing Arne Engels, insisting the £11 million Belgian midfielder needs time and support to fulfil his potential at Parkhead. Engels arrived with high expectations, but has yet to fully ignite, with some fans growing frustrated at a lack of standout displays from the 21-year-old. However, former Hoops hero Petrov sees promising signs and believes the youngster is capable of growing into a key player under Brendan Rodgers. The Bulgarian, who became a mainstay in the Celtic midfield under Martin O'Neill, highlighted the importance of mentorship from seasoned pros like Paul Lambert and Neil Lennon during his own development. He believes Engels and current teammate Rio Hatate would benefit from similar guidance. This is what the former Celtic man told TCW. "Arne just needs time. It took me a lot of time to adapt and adjust at Celtic, but my situation was completely different. I had the opportunity to play with very experienced players, good leaders, and players who demanded the ball. The Celtic team is completely different at the moment. I had players that I could learn from as Lubo Moravcik, Paul Lambert and Neil Lennon were there. Some players played in that position who could give me a lot of pointers and help me and push me to be competitive. At the moment, Engels and Hatate are probably the two best midfielders at Celtic, and sometimes you need more competition to push them, to encourage them to get better. I think Hatate has adapted much better in that position. He is a box-to-box midfielder. He is getting goals and getting in the right areas. Engels takes a little bit more time, but he definitely has the ability. He has shown that he can play. He is a very intelligent player. So, I think he'll be a great addition to this club," Stilian concluded. There is a quality about Engels that is clear to see, but Celtic needs to see him step up week in, week out. He doesn't shy away from the ball and is brilliant from set pieces, but he needs to start creating a little bit of magic if fans are to change their minds on the player. Had he come in for a lesser fee, we'd probably be raving about him. It's been a good first season, but next term, after the summer working with Brendan Rodgers, he'll be looking to kick on. In other news, Kieran Tierney made a brief appearance at the Santiago Bernabeu as Arsenal sealed their place in the Champions League semi-finals, dumping out Real Madrid with a 2-1 win on the night and a commanding 5-1 victory on aggregate. The Celtic-bound fullback was introduced in the final seconds after the Gunners netted their second goal of the night, with Mikel Arteta handing the Scotland international a late cameo in a game that could yet end with Tierney collecting a winner's medal. At the end match, cameras picked up KT brilliantly celebrating with the Arsenal staff after Martinelli scored the winner. It's the kind of footballing occasion Tierney has always belonged in, and while his future lies back in Glasgow, his involvement at the business end of Europe's premier competition adds a glittering layer of pedigree to a player who's already loved by the Celtic support. The question now is, could Tierney return to Celtic Park this summer with Champions League glory on his CV? Arsenal are just 3 games away from lifting the trophy, with a semi-final against PSG standing in their path. It's shaping up to be a potentially triumphant homecoming for Tierney, and if he returns to Celtic draped in European success, it would be a serious statement of intent for Brendan Rodgers and the club. The pre-contract signing gets better by the day. Lastly, with Celtic potentially sealing the title at Tannadice on April 26th, the next league match in the calendar, a Glasgow derby at Ibrox, could see Brendan Rodgers' men arrive as newly crowned champions, and that has once again reignited the age-old debate around the tradition of a guard of honour. Every year this talk creeps in, and every year the same debate takes place. Calls have emerged for Rangers to observe the gesture should Celtic clinch the Premiership crown before the derby. Speaking on the Daily Records Hotline Live, Keith Jackson suggested that such a move could allow Rangers to take the moral high ground, stating, "Maybe in many ways Rangers might take some sort of moral high ground if they did stand either side of the tunnel and applaud Celtic," Jackson said. The discussion comes amid growing speculation around how the Ibrox club would respond in that scenario. Celtic, 15 points clear with 5 games to play, need only to avoid defeat against Dundee United to confirm their 4th successive league title. And even if they are defeated, Rangers must collect all 3 points when they travel to St Mirren, and in their recent form, suggesting that they'll drop points is quite a likely outcome. The idea of a guard of honour has divided opinion over the years, especially in the cauldron of Glasgow football. Whether Rangers choose to follow through or not, the conversation around it will only intensify in the days leading up to the 4th of May. What are your thoughts on these? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.